wrestling should be talked about. Boom! Let's go. Hand position. Love it. Let's go. Middlemania. Yeah. Like and subscribe. Kayfabe Wrestling Talk. You come here to hear how wrestling should be talked about. Just finished watching SmackDown. Just want to talk about a couple things. First of all, SmackDown. Really good SmackDown. I know they're going back to 3 hours in January. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea or not. But they got star power on SmackDown, and SmackDown's been a hitter lately. I just want to really focus on two feuds. Obviously, at the top, Sami is involved in both of these feuds, complaining to Nick Aldis that Nick Aldis screwed him, adding Gunter, adding KO, yada, yada. And Randy interferes, sneaks up on Sami here, and I'm kind of talk about him. And, they're about to have a back and forth until, Cody calls out Randy to the ring for another battle, just like last week's battle. He wants to fight. And, Randy says that he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the killer instinct like Randy does. Randy, crushed his head with no remorse. Cody would have remorse. Cody says, I don't think so. I think that's the good guy thing to do, getting even. I don't know. Cody's shifted over the dark side a little bit, but, Nick Aldis comes out, stops everything, says if you guys fight before Sunday night main event in 2 weeks, you're not going to get another title shot. So that shut him down, and they had a little back and forth, who's going to kick whose ass the most. But the most interesting thing, first of all, Cody was getting booed. That was crazy. And he quoted Paul Heyman saying, I'm going to kill the Legend Killer. That is not a prediction. That is a spoiler. Quoting Paul Heyman. I don't know if this is just to tease people. I don't know. But there's been rumors he might go heel. It could all just be playing with our heads. But it was a very, very interesting line indeed. And it was a great little back and forth, and it makes me want to watch the match Sunday night main event. Now, the other major feud, of course, and this is all happening in Toronto, only about 45 minutes away from me. I couldn't make the show. But, of course, I watched it on Netflix. And we got KO versus CM Punk for the championship. I don't know if this is going to be a long-term feud. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'd love it because obviously these guys have history. They didn't like each other back 20 years ago, and I don't know if they ever liked each other. You never know in wrestling what's real and what's written, and if they're working. Obviously they're working together. Two guys criticized for what they look like and how they act. One of those guys fighting another guy who criticized him for the exact. So they all got criticized. Both got criticized kind of for being skinny fat or whatever, just not a wrestler. But then CM Punk did the same thing to Kevin Owens, so kind of hypocritical there because he didn't like hearing that from other people. That's kind of real stuff. But Kevin Owens, he wanted this in Toronto. It was the last match he had before he was out for a long time, and he says, if this is a great place. If this is going to be my last match, this is going to be my last match. 20 years of waiting for this fight. The crowd was on Kevin Owens' side. During the announcement, Punk gets booed, which is not something you hear too very often. Completely booed. Toronto is the city that did boo The Rock when The Rock was the most popular. So Toronto is got a mind of its own. Some cities are like that. Chicago can be like that. Philly. London, they'll just cheer for whoever they want. They're not going to necessarily go by who's the good guy or bad guy. They just, whoever. Great start to the match. I mean, Kevin Owens just beat the shit out of Punk for so long, hitting a 5-star on the table, hitting a swanton, doing the cannonball, hitting a sharpshooter. Crowd goes nuts. Ref gets hit. KO pins Punk. No ref. A little bit of chaos happened, but again, another guy, this guy's in everybody's ear right now. He's in everybody's feud. Here comes Sami because he hates Punk first of all, he slammed Punk into the ring post and, Kevin Owens didn't see that happen, but, he hit the stunner and got a really close. The crowd thought this was a title change, but couldn't get the 3 count. Sami tries to give KO the belt while the ref is still kind of dazed. KO won't take it. He says, "I don't want to do it like this." And then Sami just right away hits KO with the belt, and then Punk retains, hitting that GTS. And then Sami comes in and hits everybody again. He hits KO, knocks him right out, hits Punk a couple times with the belt. Sami's a bitter man. He is a bitter guy, and I would say this is his best run of his life. His just everything about him, the sanctimoniousness of him, the blaming everybody. It's just he's perfect right now. So we got these two feuds that Sami's kind of involved in both with Cody and Randy. We got KO and Punk. We got Sami just messing with both sides. He's all over the place. I mean, yeah, and he's whether it was only for a week or not, he is a former heavyweight champion of the world now. He's a top dog. Whether I know they gave it to him for a week, and it makes more sense just the way they're playing it. I love how like this is going to be a long story. Very very good stuff. Very good stuff. What else happened? I'm not going to. We had the MFTs and I didn't know, but I think that stands for Mother fucking Tongans. MFTs, right? Mother Tongans. I don't know. Versus Truth and Priest. The Tongans win. Um, I think this has to be the end of the road for Priest and Truth. I mean, Priest, and I'll tell you, Priest is improving so much every single match. A year ago, I wasn't that big of a fan. He's still pretty good, but he's the speed, the timing, in ring presence, the storytelling. He's getting a lot better, and so are the Tongans actually. Tala especially. I mean, Tom is already great, but Talo is just roaring all the time. It's what big guys do. Roar! He's doing a lot less roaring and just focusing more on the moves. Anyway, MFTs retain. Trick and Corbin face off. This was an interesting little thing. Love Little Yachty. But Corbin's like, I beat you twice there, Trick. I'm not giving you another shot at the U.S. title. And he says, you know what? I want Little Yachty. And if I can beat Little Yachty at Sunday night main event, or if Little Yachty can last 5 minutes, I'll give you a title shot. If he can't, you're never getting a title shot again. Interesting. Love that Little Yachty's getting in that match. We got Tiffy and Lash. Lash looking great. And Tiffy's like a sponge. Lash, just pure power. She's fighting her style and takes out Tiffy time and wins. So, but really, I mean, this was Randy Orton, Cody, KO, CM Punk. And I mean, look at the star power on SmackDown. They're really trying to get the ratings up, and I think it's working. I mean, that crowd was lit for every single match. Toronto crowd just going nuts, booing Punk, booing Cody. Oh, I love my Toronto crowd for that stuff. They just do what they want, when they want, how they want, whatever. The Toronto crowd is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. They're going to cheer for they want to cheer for. And I mean, Randy Orton won a title in Toronto. That's a big reason. If you fought, won, or lost the title in Toronto, they're probably going to cheer you. Just like Hogan having that big main event in Toronto back for WrestleMania 18, they were supposed to boo him. They did not boo him, if anybody remembers. Go back and watch that match. It's one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. I was there. And it was wild. It was a so-so WrestleMania, but that match was insane. The crowd made the match. And just like SmackDown, the crowd made a lot of those matches too. Really, really pumped to have CM Punk and KO there, I guess, and having Cody and Randy there. And a lot of shenanigans. And I'll tell you what, they put on a good show for that Toronto crowd. Am I too positive? I know all these wrestling podcasts are just pure negative. I just like wrestling. I don't know. I thought it was good. I think we've recovered after the whole Cena debacle because I think there was that 8 months, year, or whatever that was pretty bad with the Cena comeback. And before that, it was great. We just had a bad year and making him, it was a weird run for him. But I think we're recovering finally. We got some good bookings. We got the Bloodline rocking and rolling. We got Solo coming out on his own with LA Knight. We got Cody, Randy. We got Punk and, KO and Sami. I mean, we got some hitters. We got Gunter just walking up to people saying, I don't care who wins the belt. I'm going to beat the crap out of whoever it is. We got some heavy hitters. And I think maybe we should just enjoy it. Maybe a little bit. I mean, if it's terrible, I'm going to say it's terrible. But there hasn't been a lot of terrible lately. There's been like some good stuff. And I'm happy. I'm happy we got wrestling. What the hell else do we got in this world but some good old fashioned wrestling? So whether you're AEW, TNA, New Japan, WWE, just have a good time. Watch some wrestling. And this is Kayfabe Wrestling Talk. This is where you come to hear how wrestling should be talked about. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, let's go. Boom. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.